Well, people, you guys probably heard by now that Mark Fuhrman has passed. LA detective, famous for the OJ trial. Let's get into it because I found a whole lot of things. Man, I learned a lot tonight. Check it out. It's May 19th. It's Tuesday. May 19th, Tuesday, 1:29 in the a.m. Let's see what we got here.
Prosecutors in the O.J. Simpson trial made a grave error in relying on the testimony of Mark Fuhrman. Fuhrman was called to testify largely about the evidence collected at the scene. In fact, he was the one who found the bloody glove on Simpson's property. During his testimony for the prosecution, he performed well, but when he came under a blistering cross-examination by the legendary attorney F. Lee Bailey, things fell apart quickly. At one point, Bailey asked Fuhrman whether he had ever used the N-word, with Fuhrman replying that he had not. Unbeknownst to him, Simpson's defense had hours of interviews between Fuhrman and an aspiring screenwriter, during which Fuhrman spewed racial slurs, condoned excessive force and falsifying reports, and boasted that it would be no sweat for a cop to get away with murder. Fuhrman was now facing perjury charges, and suddenly the defense's assertion that he had planted the glove on Simpson's property didn't seem so far-fetched. When he was later recalled to the stand to testify about whether he had ever planted evidence, he invoked his Fifth Amendment right against self-incrimination in response to all queries. The prosecutor
To live now from Fox, I am Andy Mack. Another breaking news story out of Southern California as a former Los Angeles police detective who played a central role in the 1995 O.J. Simpson murder trial, Mark Fuhrman, has passed away at the age of 74. Fuhrman battled an aggressive form of throat cancer. This a post from TMZ here on Live Now from Fox as the central role in that case actually won the key figure, discovering a bloody glove at the Simpson Rockingham estate. Of course, during the trial of the murders of Nicole Brown Simpson and Ron Goldman, Fuhrman was a central person in this case. Prosecutors say the item matched the glove found at the scene where the two victims were murdered, and obviously so much tying back to that is Fuhrman's involvement in the case, and the trial later led to significant controversy and damaged his credibility after audio recording surfaced in which he used racial slurs to be followed. Despite previous denying such conduct under oath, the defense argued that the tapes raised questions about his credibility and whether evidence in the case had been properly handled. The defense also used the recordings to suggest that Fuhrman may have planted the bloody glove to frame Simpson. Fuhrman was accused of lying on the witness stand and was convicted of perjury in 1996, making him the only person associated with the case to be convicted of a crime related to the trial. Despite the controversy surrounding the case, Fuhrman was described as a very smart detective, while adding he wasn't always entirely accurate. After retiring.
So yeah, he has passed. He has passed. My condolences to friends and family. You know, when you think back, I would argue and say this OJ case, the OJ case, and I don't think any other case before that got the type of coverage. I remember the OJ ride and the Bronco. Put it in the chat, you guys remember that. That OJ and the white Bronco, I tell you, with his buddy, football player, he called him up, and so many stories about that thing. And what I'm getting at is that I really think that this was the first major television trial, right? Right? Help me out here. It's kind of late, of course. I've been up since 7 a.m., but I think the OJ trial was the first major TV trial, right? Or coverage of that. But let's get into it because I found some interesting stuff. I pulled up the actual perjury case. Yeah, he was found guilty. Did community service and a $200 fine. Maybe he made some more, I don't know, but $200 fine, charged with perjury. March 15th, 1995. He was charged with perjury. That 315 speaks because Julius Caesar died on 315. You might ask, why do I bring that up? People, as I did this research, what if I told you this thing strongly looks at Donald J. Trump? I can't believe it. I couldn't believe it, but yet I understand. Whew, because These powers, they got a rhythm with a time clock and a date and a calendar. So yeah, look at here. 3:15. Remember, the Ides of March is 3:15. That's the day that Julius Caesar died. Well, this is the day that Mark Fuhrman was charged. Look, Fuhrman was charged with lying. So let's go a little further. Now we know about the OJ. We know O.J. Simpson, right? Mr. Buffalo Bill. He played with San Francisco for about a year, but Buffalo is his home, right? Out of New York. Trump is out of New Jersey. But look at OJ's birthday, 7/9. Well, you know, Trump is 79 years old right now. Trump is 79 also. And look, death date of OJ is April 10th. But OJ died at 76. I'm going to show you a lot of connections. Like I said, I just showed you 3:15. Now look at the 76. America was founded on what? July 4th, 1776. Now I'm gonna just keep pointing out numbers. Here's Mark Fuhrman. Well, let's look at OJ. Some people might not know OJ. There's OJ Simpson. Went through the whole trial. There he is, relieved that he was not guilty. Remember the saying? If the glove don't fit, you must acquit, right? So there he is, OJ Simpson. Now let's go back to Mark Fuhrman. Mark Fuhrman, 74 years old when he died. Mark Fuhrman, 74. OJ was 76. Look at that. OJ is 76, y'all. Now, being an OJ, look, OJ is 76. America was founded on July 4th, 1776. Mark Fuhrman died at 74 years old. America was founded July 4th, which isn't too far from now. Look at his birthday, February 5th, 52. Death date, although they announced it today, they say he died on May 12th. I got various dates, believe it or not, but it says May 12th here. Now let's roll with this here. May 12, 2026, Mark Fuhrman died. February 5th, 1952, what is that? February 5th, 1952, that's his birthday. Mark Fuhrman's birthday. So, Mark Fuhrman's birthday versus his death date. He was 74 years old and 97 days old, including the end date. The 97th day of the year is April 5th, like 4-5. Trump's the 45th president. I'm gonna work my way through it. Like I say, I believe it connects a lot to Trump. Now look here. He worked for the Los Angeles Police Department. They were founded December 13th, 1869. Mark Fuhrman. December 13th, 1869. December 13th, 2026, anniversary of what? Of the LA Police Department. May 12th is the day Mark Fuhrman died. 216 days in between. August 4th is the 216th day of the year. That's Barack Obama's birthday. Is that coincidence? Now look at this here. The Buffalo Bills. Who is that? O.J. Simpson played for the Buffalo Bills. They were founded October 28th, 1959. Watch this, October 28th, 59. October 28th, 1959. And here's the day that Mark Fuhrman died. May 12, 2026. 66 years ago, the Buffalo Bills were founded. 6 months and 14 days. So we got like 666, or just 66, and 614. What is 614? Now do you understand why I said it's connected to Trump? What are the odds? Arguably the biggest murder investigation over the last 30 or 40 years. The O.J. Simpson trial with Mark Fuhrman as the one who they believe planted that bloody glove. Mark Fuhrman died on the 12th, and all I did was take his death date, May 12, 2026, from the day that the Buffalo Bills was founded. O.J. Simpson played for the Buffalo Bills. The Buffalo Bills are 66 years old and 6'14", and the President of the United States' birthday is 6'14". What are the odds? Come on now. Come on. Somebody put come on in the chat. Now look, Nicole Simpson, O.J.'s ex-wife, may she rest in peace. She was born May 19th and died on 6/12. Now let's look at this here. 6/12/1994, Nicole Simpson died. That bloody murder. May 12, 2026, Mark Fuhrman died. 31 years ago and 111. Remember, Pope Francis died on the 111th day of the year. And I keep showing that Trump is connected to Pope Francis. A new religious system is coming. A new political system is coming. The 666 mark of the beast. How do they do it? Baby, they gotta have a time machine. Now check this out. O.J. Simpson was found not guilty on October 3rd, 1995. October 3rd, 1995. Y'all remember that? Here he is right here. There's the glove. October 3rd, 1995. Let's see if we can play that for you right quick. O.J. Simpson not guilty. You guys remember this here?
Every Raising Cane's chicken.
I'm going to show you that part here. This was some trial, people. Okay, here we go.
All right, Mr. Simpson, would you please stand and face the jury? Mrs. Robertson.
Superior Court of California, County of Los Angeles, in the matter of the people of the state of California versus Orenthal James Simpson, case number BA097211. We, the jury, in the above entitled action, find the defendant Orenthal James Simpson not guilty of the crime of murder in violation of Penal Code Section 187A, a felony upon Nicole Brown Simpson, a human being, as charged in count 1 of the information. Superior Court of the State of California, County of Los Angeles, in the matter of the people of the State of California versus Orenthal James Simpson. We, the jury, in the above entitled action, find the defendant Orenthal James Simpson not guilty of the crime of murder in violation of Penal Code Section 187A, a felony upon Ronald Lyle Goldman, a human being, as charged in count 2 of the information. We, the jury, in the above entitled action, further find the special circumstance that the defendant, Orenthal James Simpson, has in this case been convicted of at least one crime of murder of the first degree and one or more crimes of murder of the first or second degree to be not true. Signed this 2nd day of October 1995, Jury 230. Ladies and gentlemen of the jury, is this your verdict? So say you one, so say you all.
All right, counsel, Mr. Simpson, would you be seated, please? Just have a quiet court, please.
Never forget that day, right? That was something else. That was something else, people. That was something else. Mark Fuhrman was strongly suggested that he planted this glove. And also what got him was that Mark Fuhrman claimed he said he never used the N-word. But they had information showing he said the N-word 42 times. That's the true story, people. I remember doing this research back in the day. So the credibility of Mark Fuhrman was they just tore him up in court. And like I said, he did community service and paid a fine. If I'm not mistaken, allegedly they got him on tape, or someone testified, or information came out that Well, I won't even get into that because I already played that. But let's go back onto this in here. So we got O.J. Simpson, April 3rd, 1995. That's what you just saw here. April 3rd, 1995, not guilty. So we take that date, October 3rd, 1995, from the day that Mark Fuhrman died, May 12, 2026. That's 30 years ago, OJ was found not guilty, and 7/13. People, what happened on July 13th? On July 13th, 2024, in Butler, Pennsylvania, that's when they said Trump got hit in the ear. An assassination attempt. You see why? You see how this comes out to Trump? I don't know how they do it, but they do it. The numbers don't lie. Johnny Cochran's birthday, the lawyer of, here he is here, the lawyer of OJ. Okay. His birthday is October 2nd, 1937. He died March 29th, 2005. So he has the famous line, if it doesn't fit, you must acquit. And I put O.J. Simpson. They come out to 194, y'all. The 194th day of the year is July 13th. You heard me. The 194th day of the year is July 13th. Just like this, July 13th. If it don't fit, you must acquit. What is he talking about? You must acquit. Well, the gloves didn't fit properly. So, O.J. Simpson found not guilty. Because the glove, that was part of the testimony. The glove spoke. So he couldn't be guilty. And the jury found him not guilty. So it's right there. The 194th day of the year is July 13th. That's the day Trump got hit in the ear, they said. What a coincidence. What we got? October 2nd, 1937. What is that? October 2nd, 1937. That's got to be Johnny Cochran's birthday. Right here. May 12, 2026, Mark Fuhrman's death date. Look at that. 88 years ago, Johnny Cochran was born. This guy right here, 88 years ago. And 7/13, July 13th, Trump got hit in the ear in Butler, Pennsylvania. How does that happen? We got 7/13 in a couple of places, don't we? We got it here, and we got it here. Trump's text number is 88022. What a decode, huh? Last but not least, Ron Goldman, God rest his soul. You probably heard somebody crying in the background from the reaction. That was Ron Goldman's dad. Let's see.
Action. Find the defendant, Orenthal James Simpson, not guilty of the crime of murder in violation of Penal Code Section 187A, a felony upon Nicole Brown Simpson, a human being, as charged in count 1 of the information.
You're gonna hear some emotion, and the camera's gonna pan over to this guy's father, Ron Goldman. You're gonna hear him. Watch, listen.
Superior Court of the State of California, County of Los Angeles, in the matter of the people of the State of California versus Orenthal James Simpson. We, the jury, in the above entitled action, find the defendant, Orenthal James Simpson, not guilty of the crime of murder in violation of Penal Code Section 187A, a felony upon Ronald Lyle Goldman, a human being, as charged in count 2 of the information. We, the jury, in the above entitled action, further find the special circumstance that the defendant, Orenthal James Simpson...
That's the father right there. I think they said he fainted, but that was him. That was his emotion. Listen.
...of the information. We, the jury, in the above entitled action, further find the special circumstance that the defendant, Orenthal James Simpson, has in this case been convicted of at least one crime of murder of the first degree...
I tell you, people, this was some trial. This was some trial. So Ron Goldman's birthday, July 2nd, 1968. July 2nd, 1968. May 2nd, 2026. Fuhrman's death. He would have been 57 years old and 45 weeks. Trump's the 45th president. If you like the work, please subscribe, share it, tell me what you think. Where were you when this went down? This is something else, people. Good night. God bless. Remember, Jesus is coming soon. These powers, it appears to me they're going to keep on with situations. This July 4th speaks through this video. July 4th and 1776 and Trump. Trump is not going to take a nap. He's just going to be leaving. And they're showing us that. They're showing, so don't lose your mind. And I pray we don't have a RACEWAR, because we don't need that. God bless America. God bless the world. Good night.